Hello, everybody, and welcome to I think it's my fourth Review&A. Here today, my special guest star, my special guest star, Mr. Seán McGearailt.
Hello, how are we?
Mr. Seán here has come out of retirement.
Hibernation.
Yes, from film reviewings to be here with me today to talk about Black Panther. So, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, Seán. Thank you for being here, Seán.
Not a bother, Dillon. Not at all.
Thank you for having me as well, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely no problem. Thank you for having me on this.
There we go. I like it.
I love it.
Charming as always.
No.
So, if you guys haven't listened to this before, basically what we do here is we review films in a very unconventional way, where we essentially ask each other 5 questions each, and then we wrap it up at the end, give our overall review, rating, and whatever. So, we'll just jump right into it. And Seán, seeing as you're my guest, I'm going to give you the first question.
Cool.
So, we'll start out quite simply. What did you think of Chadwick Boseman in this movie?
Chadwick Boseman was fantastic.
Absolutely, I definitely agree.
He has this sort of aura about him, this very cool, badass, kingly aura about him. Because the thing with T'Challa or Black Panther is that like this is a very different protagonist to what we're used to dealing with in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And actually, I should say the film itself is very, very different to what we're used to seeing from the Marvel machine. Because honestly, the films at this point, like they almost feel like they're kind of being churned out like a like I don't know,
an endless train.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just that there was a lot of refreshing elements, and obviously I loved Boseman's first appearance in Civil War.
Yes, no, terrific first appearance.
And like it was just he was so cool in that. But I think to see him explored in such detail. Mm-hmm. Oh my! Like not just that, but the entire world of Wakanda. That's one of my questions though.
Yeah.
That I'll get to in a second.
That's okay.
No, Boseman nailed it. I really felt like he just nailed it.
Absolutely.
He brought a lot to it.
Mm. Yeah, he did a great job in Civil War, and they teased him quite well, and I was excited to see more of him, and I wasn't let down one bit by his character in the movie or his performance, everything. Phenomenal job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so what's your question for me? Your first question.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned the protagonist, because my first question is about the antagonist. What did you make?
Jordan.
What did you make of Killmonger as a villain compared to other Marvel villains? Or if you want to leave the compared to other Marvel villains out of that, you can.
I would. No, I think the way you phrase that question is interesting, because I wouldn't say he's the best villain I've ever seen in any movie ever.
Oh, same, yeah.
But in comparison to most Marvel villains, he's very strong. I personally thought. No,
you
agree?
No, he's one of the best ones.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I thought Michael B. Jordan hit out the park. I loved that he was like kind of the same age as
T'Challa.
T'Challa, yeah, they had that kind of almost like a sibling rivalry bond between them. That was really cool.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, I thought about that. Yeah, it was so cool.
But I think as well, his backstory, and just it's the fact that I think it's just his whole ideology of someone who was kind of born of Wakandan descent. Sort of, and then it's the fact that
just a heads up.
Go on.
If you're listening to this now and you're not aware, you haven't seen the movie, you want to see it, we're going to talk about spoilers. Okay, go ahead.
But basically, it's just the fact that obviously he was of Wakandan birth, and then it's the fact that he's been living outside of Wakanda his whole entire life, and it's the fact that he's been exposed to the harshness and the difficulties of
the real world.
Yeah. And the fact that the people of Wakanda are so prestigious and so well built in their technology and their culture. Oh my God, their culture fucking blew me away, man.
Beautiful stuff, really.
But like, I think it's just what a strong, like a direct, strong contrast to T'Challa.
Yeah, no, like, very much so.
So like, just
it was a good contrast, but it wasn't a contrast like there's a lot of Marvel movies where like the villain is literally the exact opposite of the main hero. It wasn't like that. He was his own fleshed out character in his own way.
He had his own idea.
Yeah, he wasn't
of how Wakanda should be run.
Exactly. Yeah, he wasn't just anti Black Panther.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like he had legit reasons. Like me personally, like if I was like if I was someone like that, which
Thankfully you're not.
thankfully I'm not.
Yeah.
But if I could just imagine myself kind of being in that state of mind, like you'd be hard pressed not to feel that like
That level of rage
Yeah.
and yeah, no, absolutely, and those are the best villains for me.
the ones that you can understand.
You can sympathize with, yeah, and
Yeah.
you can kind of see it from their perspective.
Yeah.
I wasn't rooting for him, but I could see why he thought that way. You know what I mean?
It's actually kind of funny because I actually found myself once or twice actually rooting for him.
Yeah, no, I probably was too, to be honest. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I wasn't
That's how well built and fleshed out he is. like.
absolutely. I mean, I wasn't annoyed when he killed Andy Serkis. You know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. No, but really, no, he was really, really good.
Yeah. I'd say definitely one of the best of the Marvel catalogue anyway.
Oh, by far. And I wouldn't have never thought it. It's not that I don't like Michael B. Jordan as an actor, but
Yeah.
I would never thought that he would have the strength as a performer to play a convincing villain. But he really did.
I actually did. I did think similarly, and it's because
Yeah.
as well. It's unfortunately that the fact that he was in another Marvel movie before
Yes,
this,
Human Torch, yeah.
Fantastic or Fantastic Four or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And obviously it was marketed as Fantastic, but that's a bell-end move on
Yes.
the PR team.
It was very lovely of Marvel to give him another chance. And
Yes.
he did a great job.
I agree.
He's probably good in Fantastic Four as well. I haven't seen it.
He is. No, he
is, yeah.
He does the best with what he can in it, and like he's fine, but he's way better in this.
Absolutely, but I mean, just judging from stuff like Creed and Fruitvale Station, which are actually from the same director, Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
Judging from his performances in those, he's very good at playing the good guy.
Yes.
But I just didn't think he would have been good. He would have been an amazing villain, but he really was.
Pleasant
I must
surprise.
say. Yeah, very
Pleasant
pleasant surprise. So on to my question. I
Ooh.
know you had the same for me coming up. That's okay. Wakanda in general. What did you think of it as? How did the Marvel film? How did the Marvel Studios handle it?
Wakanda in Black Panther, for me, I think is one of the most fascinating worlds that I have seen in a film
Yeah,
for a while.
I would agree. Yeah.
Like I think the last time I saw just the environment and the surroundings of the world of the story, like that well fleshed out. I think the last time I saw it done perfectly was Blade Runner 2049.
Really? Okay, that's a huge compliment coming from your part.
Yeah, no, it's just like I was taken aback by how much I was really like in the cinema. Like I was so immersed just in the culture of Wakanda, the technology of Wakanda, how they like how they do these challenges, like when what is it the day that they elect their king.
Yeah, the big battle.
Fights,
By the waterfall.
Yeah.
Beautiful sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of those fights like were just like they were really good. The thing that I really like as well is just this one little physical thing that the Wakandans do, and it's just
Yes.
that the cross like with their arms, and so they just hit their front of their
It was
shoulders.
very
like that.
cool. Yeah. No, the colony of Wakanda was conveyed very well.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, very well worded.
Beautifully. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. What's your next question for me?
You know something? It was the exact same question. Wakanda.
Okay, so yeah, it's cool. We're
Yeah.
going
Back and forth here.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's a really beautiful civilization they created, and I was totally and utterly convinced by it. And I think with movies like these, when they had to create a whole other world, you obviously know there's going to be a lot of green screen and sound stages
Yes.
involved, and there obviously was.
Yeah.
But it didn't. I wasn't watching it being like, oh, that was clearly shot at Pinewood Studios or wherever, you know. And there's been so many movies in the past where I did feel that way. Like in one of my most recent examples would be that world that they went to, I can't remember the name of, in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I thought it was so obvious that they were in a soundstage for very large portions of that movie. But I thought it looked beautiful here. It was an issue for me. They created that world, and I was utterly convinced from beginning to end. I thought Wakanda just looked so beautiful. I was mesmerized by it, it really was. It looked... I want it to be real. I'm sad it's not real.
Yeah.
Like,
Actually, no. There are. I've seen reports. I think from America, like some dumbass Americans are claiming that Wakanda is an actual real place, and it's not.
I remember a couple of years ago when Avatar came out, there were like
Christ,
people
come on.
calling suicide hotlines because they found out Pandora wasn't a real place. So I guess
come
they're
on.
avoiding that now by telling people that Wakanda is definitely real. But yeah, there you go. So my next question for you is actually one you only asked me recently. What did you think of Michael Jordan in this movie? I think you kind of basically said it, but if you want to say anything else, no?
Yeah, no, I mean, not. I really don't know if there's anything else that I can say that's already been said about him. It's just
no, it's cool.
It's just he was just natural. It's just the way
absolutely.
It's just the way that the character was written and designed, and it's just his whole purpose of being the reasonable wave of disconnect in Wakanda.
Yeah,
I think just having him just like it's just the way he's written. I think it just like his motives make sense.
Yeah, no, very well written.
And like, you know, they're clear as well, and that it was very evident, I think, physically and emotionally as well, like, through him. And very pleasant surprise. I mean, like we were saying, like I didn't expect him to be as good as he was as the villain, but like he was just he didn't really play, like he just kind of played as sort of naturally cool. It wasn't. He was not an over-the-top villain.
No,
he definitely wasn't.
Definitely not. And there have been many in the Marvel movies alone that were over the top. Christopher Eccleston in Thor: The Dark World would be one that springs to mind for me.
Yellow Jacket in Ant-Man.
Really, I quite like Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, no, I think.
No, a lot of people don't. I'm not judging your opinion at all. I personally do.
Yeah, of course. There's too many to name.
No, there are definitely. There are loads for sure. Yeah. What's your next question for me then?
Oh my God. I got as far as the third question, but the thing is, this doesn't even make sense. The past and the present of Wakandan kingly duties.
Oh my!
It's not even so much a question, really. It's kind of
more like
it's a point of discussion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they set it all up very well. At the beginning of the movie, I was utterly enthralled by it, and I thought as soon as it started, I was kind of like, when they gave the whole origin story, I was like, good, I'm happy that they're telling their own story.
Yeah.
They're not being like, here's a little something before the Infinity War. Do you know what I mean? It's its own movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's actually like the Punisher season 1 was like that as well. Like it completely
disconnected from
Daredevil. Obviously it had the addition of Deborah Ann Wall as Karen Page, who was in Daredevil. Yes. But like the Punisher did that, and Black Panther thankfully followed suit.
Absolutely.
With that.
I'm very happy with that too. There wasn't. Yeah. There was a few mentions of Civil War, which I thought was necessary. I'm not giving out about that, but they didn't do it too much, and I'm happy with that. I'm like that they didn't divert back to previous movies or divert forward to future films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They really told their own story, which is quite nice.
Actually, the thought just came to my head there. Forrest Whitaker's character, I'm not gonna lie, like when he kicked the bucket, like when I can't remember who it was that it was Killmonger that killed him. But like just that entire backstory with I don't know, I can't remember, was it T'Challa's dad or uncle, and was it Killmonger's dad was killed? Mm-hmm. Like I thought that entire backstory, I slightly alluded to it before, but I just thought that was ingenious.
It was very good.
One of my favourite scenes in the film is where Forrest Whitaker he tells T'Challa the truth about what happened, like in that opening.
Oh yeah.
Like when. Jesus Christ, I haven't seen the film in a month.
I know. My apologies.
Oh, no, you're fine. Jesus, no. But I just remember really,
him telling T'Challa the story was kind of like their way of spoon-feeding us a little bit, in case we didn't understand it from before. And it wasn't in a forced way at all. I thought it was necessary, and it was done very well.
And the other thing as well that really made it, I think, was T'Challa's reactions. And again, this is all a credit to Chadwick Boseman.
Oh my God, so powerful.
But like, it's just it's just the thing is, he's really good. Like he's really good in the film, and he has a very fluidly tough demeanor and stuff. Yeah. But it's emotional moments like that, like the moments that come in between all of this, you know, this strength that he inhabits. Mm-hmm. That's when his performance really goes up. Like
a moment that sticks out to me would be at the very beginning when after they tell the origin story of Wakanda and they show like a little news report of them reporting about the father having passed away.
Yes.
And it shows T'Challa just watching TV, a little motionless, but you can see the emotion within almost, the psychological gesture,
Yes.
if you will.
Chekhov.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
He's not showing a whole lot of emotion, but you can see that he's upset, and you can see that it was just like, this kind of like briefly mentioned on the news that he passed away, and then they moved on to something else. And you can see that he was just like, this is my father, this man did so much for me and for a whole colony, and you're just mentioning him on a little news report and moving on. I thought that was done very well by him, and just by the writers and the director and everything. Like, it just looked beautiful. It really gave a personal beginning for the character. You know what I mean?
And then one of my favorite deliveries of any line in the film came after that. I never freeze. I love that.
That was a good impression.
My brother and I, we just say that to each other a lot, just because it's so simplistically funny.
It is. Yeah.
I never freeze. It's great. It's a great badass line for him at the same time.
That the point you just made there actually is a great way for me to move on to my next question for you.
Oh, good.
So my question is, what do you think of the humor in this movie? Seeing as you just mentioned that you found that funny.
I vividly remember laughing at two moments.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the first, but the second one I do remember really well. And it was when T'Challa and his sister were looking at the different Black Panther suits down in the tech cave.
I think I know where this is going. Yeah.
It's when he punches it, but I think I can't remember, what was it? Something happens. The suit kind of makes its way back, and it just bolts him all the way back.
Yeah.
And the thing is, his sister was recording it, and it was literally just this little quick delivery where he's just like, delete that footage.
Yeah, that was quite good.
Oh no, it was so simple, but it was just, the thing is, like, it kind of appeals to the like kind of the culture we live in, of where people are like taking out their phones and just recording anything.
Is.
Just like every fucking found footage horror film out there. Why don't the bellends put the cameras down? Come on.
I love it. I thought T'Challa was very funny in the moments that were meant to be funny, because he isn't aware that they're funny, which is so good.
Yeah. I think that's I think that's one of my favorite types of humor. It's just when you have the person that is trying to be so serious, and then when it just
something embarrassing happens,
when you see the cracks in the surface, and it's just and when they start to and when they break, that's brilliant.
Absolutely,
that's so funny.
I will say though, in comparison to other movies, for me personally, the humor didn't hold up hugely for me.
I was just about to say that, like, two moments. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm on the same page with you on that.
Yeah, really. Yeah. The big moments for me in terms of where I was laughing would be Andy Serkis for all of his bits. I thought he was hilarious.
Jesus, yeah.
And I know obviously they're always going to be funny anyway, but this one in particular I found very funny. Stan Lee's cameo.
What was his again?
Someone had one in
the casino.
Yeah, he said
in China.
Yeah, and he said he would mind them.
I remember that.
There you go. Yes, but generally speaking, I didn't think it was hugely funny. There are a lot of moments where they tried, and it just fell a little flat for me.
Yeah.
One moment that sticks out for me is actually in the very same scene with his sister when they're checking out the suits, when she sees that he's wearing sandals, and she says,
"Sandals." Yeah.
She says, "What are those?" Remember that? No,
I do. What I do remember is sneakers. It's just this very clever joke about how these shoes literally they make no sound when they move. I remember that.
Oh, I do remember that.
That was
yeah.
clever.
But do you not remember her saying, "What are those?" No.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
That was the one that I was going to mention. That was a big no-no for me. It really felt like writers in their 40s trying to appeal to today's generation.
Yeah.
Not aware that meme is about 4 years old. That's what sticks out to me. I just, generally speaking, I can't remember any other huge ones because they were just forgettable. But there are a lot of moments for me where they were trying to make me laugh and they just didn't. I wouldn't have had any issues if they had just taken themselves more seriously.
Yeah.
Just because the Marvel movie doesn't mean it has to be funny all the time.
That's been my big thing with the Marvel films and why they're
general
and why they're so frustratingly similar. It's just they're fluffy.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
very like they're like the thing, and like I knew back when I saw Iron Man 3, and like how seriously they could have taken themselves with that, but instead they tried, like they played it for shits and giggles,
Yeah.
and what they did to, oh my god, what they did to Ben Kingsley angered me.
Mandarin, yeah.
Like no, like I was sitting next to my brothers watching that, and like they were looking over at me as if to say, what's wrong with you? Because literally I had my head buried in my hands. But that film was 5 years ago.
I know, yeah.
But
yeah, to make your point, yeah, exactly. Now, I will say that it isn't trying to be as consistently funny as most Marvel movies. It's actually probably one of the most serious ones they've done in a while.
Yeah, and actually, that like I think again, no, not again. Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler, like we've seen it now in Fruitvale Station, Creed, and even in this.
Yeah.
Although I would say anyway that it's not as good as the prior two. That the prior two are incredible.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, I agree.
But he just, I'll tell you one thing, when he hits those dramatic marks, when he hits those meaty, when he hits those meaty character moments, oh my god, they hit.
He knows how to. He absolutely
really does.
Yeah. There's so many moments in it where I was like, you know, that this is mainly Ryan Coogler that this worked out so well. I mean, obviously he's a director, so you'd expect it. Like one moment that sticks out for me in terms of him just being a great director would be when Black Panther's coming out in his ship, coming out to Wakanda. He's getting ready through the battle, and you just see the back of his head marching out. And you could just see the power in T'Challa. Yeah. Now that goes down to Chadwick Boseman as performer as well, but I just thought it was beautifully shot. It just looked amazing.
Yeah. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, because we seem to be discussing a lot of high points. Mm-hmm. Downsides.
This is my next question, is it? Yeah, downsides.
Any downsides that you feel you should address?
Yeah.
Because I have a few anyway.
Cool. Humor would be the big one for me.
Yeah.
That would probably be my biggest gripe, because I just don't think it hit very hard when they were trying to be funny. I thought it dragged a little bit too. Personally, there were just some moments where I just went a bit too slow, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
They were in China for too long, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
That sequence, I was just kind of like, take me back to Wakanda, please. I don't.
Oh yeah, no, I did feel like that.
Yeah, they were there for an awfully long time. As much as I do like Andy Serkis, I thought he was brilliant as Ulysses Claw.
Ulysses Claw, yeah.
He's terrific, but I just thought that sequence went on a good 15-20 minutes longer than needed to.
Which scene was that again?
Oh, just the whole thing in China.
Oh yeah.
It just went on a little bit too long. But yourself, anyway, your downsides.
I do agree with you for the most part on those. The thing for me, some of the action scenes are horribly lit.
You think? Okay.
Oh my god, no, the opening action scene when he comes down out of his plane and like at night attacking all
you're right.
These African pirates. I could not follow what was going on.
You're right. No, I remember that. I remember kind of being like,
it was so
I can't follow this. Yeah. I remember being a bit confused myself, having to kind of keep my gauge a bit too much more than I should have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I think like I don't want to bring any sort of racially charged comments into this, but like it's just like color wise that it's just like the fact that it was all black at night.
Yeah.
It's just
that's not to do with their skin. That's to do with what they're wearing.
Don't. I'm not a racist. No, it's just aesthetically, it was impossible to see what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, when I go to the cinema, I want to kind of, switch.
You want to see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also want to switch my brain off. And yeah, that scene, I remember that now as well. I was kind of finding myself focusing more than I should have had to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And then the climax. I wasn't a fan of the climax.
Really? I have no issues with the climax.
No, especially when T'Challa and Killmonger are fighting down in that mine. Again, it was just so drab looking.
Yeah, you think?
So drab looking. No, it was just like they're down in a mine. Why?
I liked it just because that was the moment where we kind of took away from all the other characters and we just have the antagonist and the protagonist together. Do you know what I mean?
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Like that part of it, I don't.
You just
mind.
like the
It's just-
location.
No, it
Is
was.
it-
I think as well. Like I can't even remember the choreography.
Really?
Like,
Okay.
It's just that's the thing, and like that was the thing with the opening action scene as well. I want because the thing is you could see him doing the action in Civil War, but that's because all the action scenes were in bloody daylight.
Yeah, yeah.
And but like it's just like a couple of them, like especially in the opening, because like that was when it was especially apparent. Like it's just I feel anyway, like lighting wise, it was horrendous.
For a lot of it, or
No,
certain moments.
I wouldn't even say a lot of it. Like I actually did enjoy the sequence in China, although it did go on a bit. And I'm just trying, and like obviously the what is it, the like I suppose the Wakandan election day challenges where the Black Panther strength and
Yes.
I suppose Vile taken out of T'Challa and that he's fighting the people the people who are going for it and stuff.
You had an issue with that?
No.
No.
It was
Okay.
pretty
No, that was
badass.
beautifully looking. Yeah.
Yeah, especially the first time.
Oh, the
when-
first one, I was completely immersed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like it was like again, it was the choreography for that. I do remember I just remember being like, go on, T'Challa, go on, kick his balls,
do
and
it.
go on, you mad bastard, kick his ass in.
Completely. No,
Yeah.
it was beautiful. Do you have any other issues you have, or am I on to my next
think-
question?
I think-
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, no, I think Killmonger could have been in it a bit more.
You said that. I remember you saying that to me before I went
Yeah.
to see it, and maybe it's just because I went in with that in mind, but I felt like he was used quite well. I didn't find him that underutilized.
Yeah, no, it's just the thing is as well. Like obviously you mentioned the issue about pacing.
Yeah.
Now, there was that point where T'Challa was kicked off down the waterfall by Killmonger, and then they did a they really did they ripped off, I think, was it episode 9 and 10 of Arrow season 3. I remember
You
doing
think?
them. I remember no.
Specific.
I remember doing. I remember doing. Of course, I didn't do it.
You were in Arrow season 3?
I was, yeah. No, it's just I remember. I remember was it Oliver Queen got stabbed by Ra's al Ghul. He got kicked off, and then he was brought to a resting place.
Oh, okay.
And then he healed. It's
Okay, that's very similar, yeah.
It's literally the exact same thing, and he was even woken up by sort of magic-y kind of substances.
Okay.
And it's and as well, yeah. That's when the pacing of the film did start to falter a bit.
That would be one issue I had as well, is that they tried to convince us for far too long that Black Panther was dead.
No need for that.
Because we were going to fall for it. There was an Infinity War trailer right before the movie.
Get this man a shield.
Exactly.
Exactly, you know.
He's fine. I know he's fine. Fair enough. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they know.
It's 5 minutes too long though.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. It's probably 15 minutes too long. He wasn't there for a while. It's like, I'm not going to fall for this.
Yeah.
How stupid do you think I am? I know he's okay.
Yeah.
No, that was ridiculous because it was clearly trying to be hard hitting, and I get that it was, but we know what the Marvel series is like.
Yeah.
We know he's going to be in Infinity War. We know from the trailers of Infinity War that Wakanda is a big part of it. We know he's okay.
Get this man a shield.
Come on, like.
I love that meme. It's
a good meme. It's a great meme.
especially the one with Iron Fist. Get this man something else to say.
I love that.
And yeah, naturally so, because Danny Rand is a fucking bellend.
Who's Danny Rand?
Iron Fist.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, complete.
I haven't watched that yet.
I am the Iron Fist. Sworn protector of. Shut up. Just shut up.
You can't see, but Sean's giving Danny Rand the finger right now.
Oh, I fucking hate that character so much.
I
They
haven't
had
watched it yet.
Daredevil, they had Jessica Jones, they had Luke Cage, they had Frank Castle, the Punisher, and then they have this dickhead, this young naive billionaire dickhead.
Oh, that's sad because I have seen those other characters you mentioned. I love them all. I
Anyway.
still have not high hopes, but I'm still going to try go into Iron Fist with expectations. But
Yeah.
who knows what will happen? It's probably going to be very boring.
My last issue actually is
Yes.
I felt some of the messages. I felt some of the messages in the movie about racial oppression. There was this one scene where Killmonger was in I think this Wakandan royal committee or something where he talks about black people getting oppressed like back in the 1950s, and like my brother and I came out of it and we agreed that's a bit on the nose.
Sure.
It's quite like it kind of just rams it down, like it just kind of rams that the familiar down your throat, and
You thought it was trying to hit too hard on that kind of racial stuff for a Marvel movie, or just in general anyway?
Just in general, I don't like when films preach like that.
I mean, I would get it for certain movies, like 12 Years a Slave or something.
Yeah,
those are obviously movies where that message has to hit hard, and it should be on the nose. But maybe not for a Marvel superhero movie.
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from. Definitely, it didn't bother me hugely, but
there were good intentions behind it.
Absolutely, yeah. And we had to give this movie huge props for, I think, only having 2 white actors in it. Really.
Yeah. No. It's a really good point. Actually, no. I like that the majority of the cast are like African Americans.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I mean, like,
it's something really different for a comic book film as well.
For sure, for a big franchise movie.
Yeah,
and this movie's already crossed $1 billion, so it just shows that these films can be made. It's not like you have to have a big white male lead to sell $1 billion. You can do so much more.
Yeah,
and it's just I love that a big studio like Marvel took what Hollywood would consider a risk, and it paid off well, beautifully.
And as well, when you think of the cast, you have Chadwick Boseman.
You have some of the best African American actors out there.
Chadwick Boseman, Lupita Nyong'o, Forrest Whitaker, Sterling K. Brown, Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out, Angela Bassett.
Yes.
Oh Christ, who else is there? Actually, the actress who played T'Challa's sister was incredible.
She was great as well. Yeah, that was a very probably lesser known actress, but very good.
Yeah, I just they're just really strong.
It's not the ensemble cast altogether was brilliant. The separate relationships from
and
these characters.
Michael
B. Jordan. Yeah, I know it's getting a big one.
Of course, like.
The separate relationships from each characters were put together very nicely. Yeah. Actually, speaking of the two. The 2 white actors, I forgot to mention Martin Freeman. I did not expect him to have such a big role in this movie.
I actually did, because
really?
I know before the film but before I went to see it, I had heard that Everett Ross, the character he's playing, is a character from Black Panther lore.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
And it obviously it does come across in the film.
It does,
because obviously, like you said, he has quite the major role. Although I did feel him at the end with the virtual plane, and him only mentioning that he was a pilot at one point. Obviously, it was very kind of a cliched, predictable thing that he would get roped into the finale like that. Even though it was the same thing when T'Challa's sister mentioned this big train track, this big sonic train track, and I kind of said to myself, that's going to factor into the climax somehow. And
for sure.
It was quite predictable.
I wasn't thinking that far ahead myself, I guess, but I didn't see it coming personally.
I knew something. I knew it was going to be involved somehow.
In some way, yeah. I thought he was very good in the movie. I didn't expect to see that character be developed ever. When I saw him in Civil War, I knew he'd be back, but I thought he would have the same sort of role that he had in Civil War. Because we saw him in the trailer and everything. But I honestly thought that bit with him and Andy Serkis in the trailer was going to be like one of the only bits he really had, one of his only major scenes. But man, he's a huge role in this. And he's brilliant. I love Martin Freeman. I think he's terrific in it. He's totally different to as you would see him as Watson or in The Hobbit or anything. He's a totally different character. He does a great job.
And as well, Andy Serkis as well, even though...
Andy Serkis is tremendous. As always.
But obviously Ulysses Claw is he's very two-dimensional. Like he is...
Two-dimensional?
Yeah, he is quite a straight, maniacal...
A straight-up bad person,
A straight maniacal, over-the-top, almost caricature-like character.
But they didn't try to make him bigger than he is.
No, I have to say though, Serkis did pull it off viciously.
Absolutely, I thought he did such a good job.
It's
such a pleasure to watch him in any role, whether it be motion capture or not.
Absolutely,
great job. I would love to see him in more live action roles. Not that I don't love his work as Caesar and
War for the Planet of the Apes.
Brilliant movie. Yes. Not that I don't love him as Caesar, Gollum and stuff like that. I would love to see him in more live action roles. I thought he knocked out the part. Knocked it out of the park. The part as well. He did a great job in that.
That's true.
Yes. No, he did a great job in it. So, Sean, my final question for you.
Yes.
just to wrap it all up in terms of this film, in the Marvel series overall, where would you put it? I'm not asking you to rank every movie ever, but like, where would you put it in terms of where would it fall for you?
My final opinion on the thing first overall is I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
me
thought
too.
I thought it was quite good. I enjoyed quite a few elements about it, like such as the cast, Wakanda, and just I think just the whole concept behind Killmonger, and how he's a Wakandan outsider learning about Wakanda for the first time and trying to change him and stuff. I think that stuff is absolutely
Oh
brilliant.
yeah,
But it does fall short in quite a few places as well.
as any Marvel movie would.
Yes.
To be fair. Any franchise movie. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, in terms of the recent ones, I think it's better than Doctor Strange. I thought Doctor Strange was okay. I thought that was quite middle of the road.
Yeah, I would prefer Black Panther over Doctor Strange. I do really like Doctor Strange though.
Yeah,
But I prefer Black Panther.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just I much prefer it over Spider-Man and Thor Ragnarok.
I definitely prefer it over Homecoming.
Yeah.
I wouldn't prefer it over Ragnarok, but I know that you are not a fan of Ragnarok at
Yeah,
all.
no, I'm not, and Homecoming as well. Wasn't a fan of that
Yeah,
either.
no, I was very let down by Homecoming as well.
But like at the same time, it's not as good as Winter Soldier. It's not as good as Civil War.
No.
I'm just trying to think. It's not even as good as the first Thor film, I would think.
For you?
For me,
Okay.
anyway, because I really like the first Thor.
Yeah, I probably prefer the first tour as well. The first tour is very fun, I think, and
I actually, I'd even say the first Avenger even was better.
I think I prefer Black Panther over First Adventure. But yeah, no, that's
fair.
Solely your opinion. Yeah.
But no, I think in terms of what the film represents in terms of diversity in casting and what can be accomplished by casting like African American cast and bringing
It's a huge stepping stone for Hollywood in
oh
general.
huge, and I mean I just remember even just one time when I was at home I was just like looking online and stuff and I remember seeing articles with photos involving like I think the premiere for the film and you see the cast wearing like wearing costumes and clothes that are very
They're character
traditional
costumes,
to the culture
Yeah,
that the world is kind of I thought it was stunning and I'm just
Beautiful,
like you said like it's a great stepping stone. It is a great stepping like the quality overall I do feel like there could have been more because obviously Ryan Coogler he's fantastic.
Yeah.
But
terrific.
but I mean, at the same time, it does kind of fall into some of the similar traps that we have experienced with other Marvel movies before.
In the past, for sure, yeah. Did you ask all my questions?
I don't think I don't have any more anyway.
Yeah, you did it. Okay, no, making sure. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I couldn't reach 5. I think 4.
No,
I think
that's
was,
okay.
was
Yeah.
fine anyway.
No problem. Is that you wrapping up your feelings for the movie? Was that all you had to say?
Unless you want me to just give me give me.
Yeah.
You will, but I can whip out my rating scale.
Oh, for sure.
Anyway.
Please do.
What did I give it again? I gave it, I think, a 3.25 out of 5, so a 3.25 out of 5.
Okay, here at RevieW&A, we do 10, so what would that be in 10s?
Out of 10,
Yeah.
okay. For me, that would be, I think, a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5, really?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't I loved parts of it. I loved parts of it, but I think as a whole, I feel like there is definite room for improvement.
Yeah, fair enough.
And even Kevin Feige announced that this week that Black Panther 2 is happening.
On the horizon, yeah.
You know, that's
great, yeah.
It's great, but at the same time, it's expected.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
But I think they will... Marvel are very good at knowing what their fans want,
Yeah.
what their fans like, and what they dislike. So I think they will know some of the issues we have with this movie, and I think they will improve on it.
But I think for Marvel in general, I think their biggest strengths right now are in the Netflix shows.
Yeah,
Specifically,
they are great.
Specifically Daredevil, The Punisher,
Jessica Jones.
Luke Cage. If they can bury Iron Fist, that would be great.
There's no signs of an Iron Fist season 2, I don't think, is there?
There is.
Oh, there
from what
is.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, there is from what I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was quite angry when I found out that was greenlit. But I just prefer the much more adult nature of the of the Netflix shows because they're bound by absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I like that they're not trying to appeal to the
Like
whole audience.
Like The Punisher, especially in its second half. Like I know now I don't think you've seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet, no.
But like it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is so brutal.
I can't wait to check it out. I love John Boyega in the second season of Daredevil. He was terrific.
John
Not John
Boyega.
Boyega, I'm sorry.
Bernthal.
Bernthal.
No,
sorry.
Yeah, actually, John Bernthal, I think, for me, he was the best thing to just come into the entire cinematic universe
Really?
overall.
Yeah, he is phenomenal as Frank Castle.
Yeah, he's an inspired casting.
The second best Frank Castle out there. The first, of course, being the man sitting right in front of me.
I thought you were going to say Thomas Jane. I was just like, no, Bernthal has the animalistic nature. No, yeah, thank you. Thank you. No, I did enjoy playing Frank Castle.
We'll bring that up.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? No,
most of the people
fun.
listening to this probably were in it. So.
Probably. But that's, 3.25 out of 5, 6.5 out of 10 for Black Panther for me. What about you?
Cool. Personally, for me, I don't think I need to say much more about it. I think I said my opinions. For me, I think it's a very fun movie, very enjoyable. I have absolutely no gripes with any of the performances. I thought they were all brilliant. Like we both said, pacing was a bit of an issue for me. I was a little bored at some stages, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I thought the humour fell flat many occasions, and personally I think that's because they're trying to be funny, but they're just not funny characters. And just, once you get used to that and get over it, you can understand that this movie can't take itself seriously. It doesn't need to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't need to be Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It could have been a more serious film, I thought. It tried too hard to be funny at certain points.
I'm hoping that Infinity War will pander less to families.
I want it to be darker, I really do.
I think at this point, after chucking out all of these films, I think it's something like 31 films. I think after 10 years, I think right now they need to. I think they need to grow up.
I wanted it to be a dark punch in the stomach.
Yeah.
Infinity War, which probably will. If not, the fourth one definitely will be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, overall for me, I think it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I would see it again. I wouldn't buy it on DVD, but I would see it again. And yeah, overall, I think it's very enjoyable. It probably will hold up even more in a second viewing, I feel.
Yeah.
And overall, I would give it 7.5 out of 10.
Good. That's fair for you. Like.
Yeah. Now, I think, are we good to wrap it up? Yeah?
Yeah, no, I'm
Sean,
good.
I just want to do one more thing, and I normally do this at the beginning of my videos, but I just forgot.
because I'm that hypnotizing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Would you like to just tell people a little bit about yourself? Plug yourself a little bit, if you must.
My name is Sean McGee. I'm an actor, singer, dancer, temporarily retired movie reviewer from YouTube.
You may be coming back.
I will be coming back in the summer.
Lovely. Fantastic.
I know that Open Water 3 is going to be an upcoming review.
Terrific.
Yeah, because I've such a bad history with the second Open Water. But anyway, I'm currently in my first year of drama and theatre studies in the Cork School of Music. I'm in the same course as this lovely man here.
Thank you.
And many other fine people. And I am currently very,
He's our
very
baby
busy.
Here.
Yes, even though I'm older than you.
Yes,
fucking...
I know. By a couple of years.
Yeah, no, but I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice being the baby.
Absolutely. But the main thing I would say is that Sean reviews movies on YouTube, and he's done some phenomenal videos. I will say I enjoyed a lot of your content that I've seen, and I will leave a link for his channel below if you can check him out in the future, because he's very good and he deserves support.
And thank you. And I also tend to keep myself quite busy with acting projects non-stop, basically.
So if you're around Cork City, you might hear about something that Sean's in, very likely. So
maybe you might even hear something that Dillon is in.
That can also be a thing. Go check out Bad Girls 2 very soon. Okay.
I love it.
Thank you. I guess a good place to leave it, Sean. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Likewise, Dillon. Thank you.
Goodbye. We're shaking hands out. Goodbye.